Hi everyone, good morning. So welcome to today's webinar. So today's we have very interesting topic, how to prepare RPA bot execution metrics and dashboards. So whenever in RPA, we are dealing with lots of bots or so many bots are running in productions, but always have challenging to reporting how we can exactly measure the bot executions details and which can help to business also to take the decisions. So these are the things we'll see in today's webinar. So my name is Amit Sangle. So I'm with RP implementation partner where I'm working with the step and I have handling so many customer with the RPA. I'm handling the end-to-end RPA implementations. So today I'm going to talk about the how to prepare a RPA metrics and the dashboards. So when if you are being as RPA consultant, RPA BA, RPA manager, or RPA lead, or RPA developers, so the reporting part is very important, guys. So that's why we have come up with these topics, and I would like to address everyone how we can create the matrix or dashboard for the bot executions. Okay, so let's start with the session now. So let's see the today's agenda. So we are going to see what is the bot matrices are there, bot execution matrices, why we required, then what are the bot execution matrices in detail we will see, and if you have any queries and all that we can discuss. Okay. So let's jump in. What is the RPA bot execution matrix? So if you are going to see the RPA matrices, there are so many matrices are there. In one of them, I have chosen one area, which is the execution area, a bot execution area. So our bot are running. So we have so those are doing RPA implementation where we have so many bots. Okay, but we need to understand whatever bot we have are running day and night. So their transaction execution status, because we are running to the transaction. So how many are passed, how many are failed, what are the pending status, their exception rate. So we have business exception, the application exception. Then how many am I bot are being utilized? But also we need to understand, are the proper utilization or not there? Then what is the success execution time rate? What is the fair execution time rate? So many metrics are there. So I have just picked up this five metrics for today. So we'll see one by one what are the matrices and what we require. Okay. So why we need a bot execution dashboard or why we need a matrices? So what happened exactly? So let's say we have implemented the RPA in any organizations. But what happened now? Bot is running. Okay, bot is running fine. It's performing end-to-end transaction. That's all the fine. So this is not a success of the RP implementation. That's the one thing you have achieved. That's fine. But after that, whatever your bot giving output, we need to measure this output. Whether this output it is going to be I mean, in a success level or not. That we need to check as a being as a RP consultant. Okay. So for that, bot execution matrices or dashboard is very important. So what are the stakeholders? You're a senior manager or your process owners. So entire the team who are involving with the RPA processes or bots, they need to understand. So after go live, what exactly bot is doing. Okay, they can't go and check the log. As being as RPA developer, we can go and check the logs exactly what is doing. Okay, but these are the people, they can't go and check in a machine level exactly what is happening. So it's our responsibility. We need to present the data in the matrices. On those matrices are clear with the dashboards. Correct. So for that, why we and they can also they can measure every area of the bot, how the bot getting utilized. Then what is the transaction success ratio? What is the failure ratio? How many exceptions we are getting? Okay, and these are the matrices. It's indicating, okay, now if I'm getting this amount of failure ratio, then I need to be improve more efficiency in my bot. I need to improve more rules in my bot. Then only we can we can increase success ratio, because maximum time whenever we doing RP implementation, full time we are not covering the 100% of accuracy. Okay, so for that we need to understand every time, every execution we need to carefully monitor. Okay, whatever transaction output we are getting, whatever success ratio, what is the failure ratio, we need to measure it. Okay, and then after that, okay, these are the causes. So let's say for the failure reasons, these are the causes are there. Then if something which I need to do in a RPA sites on a workflow sites, or something I need to change in my process sites. So that we need to figure out it. But how? Because these are the matrices will help us to where we have to be proactively work on it and where we have to solve the issue. Then it will help to improvisations. So as I mentioned here, to get the transaction outputs properly with the measures, we need a matrices or dashboard to understand. So if I have 4 bots or 8 bots, so I need to understand the utilization is going properly or not. It's not like that my one bot is getting fully utilized and my other bots are not getting utilized as much as that. So again, the one bot have so much loads and second on another bot, they're not utilized as they can. So again, it's a challenging. So that also we need to see because we have paid the licenses for every bots, right? So we need to ensure whatever utilization we are doing are going proper or not. If it is not going proper, then something we need to change in our architecture or infra level. We need to see what thing we have to check. But before that, we need to understand, okay, whether my bot utilization is going proper or not. With the matrix, we can see. Otherwise, we can't see. Okay. Then uh, every time. So okay, so whenever we're doing the dry runs, okay, we know okay, this particular transaction, for example, it took around 4 minutes or 5 minutes or 6 minutes. Okay, that's fine. But in a longer run, we need to understand every time. So for example, if it taking for performing every transaction, if it is taking 4 minutes, now after one day, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, but if this period is getting continuously increases, then we need to check because my if I have to execute daily around 20 or 24 transactions, for example, then I need to understand what are the my transactions are there are properly or on time getting executed or not executed. That I need to check it. Got it? Okay. So that's why we need to check the average transaction handling time. Okay. So if it is taking a maximum time, then we need to see is there any application side any issues or some delay we have incorporated in our code are not running dynamically or it's a hardcore delay. So all these we need to find out, right? But again, if I'm saying once we're getting all these input for with the help of these matrices, then only developer can take the actions. Developer can take the prepare the action plans and he can work on it and improve the bot performance. Otherwise, we can. So that's why matrices are very important. Whenever we have done the RP implementation, we want to improve the performance of the bots, right? So with the matrices, we can't do it because we have larger of data, and with the data, we can't see every log and we can't understand what is going on. So that's why day to day, by whenever we have the execution cycle is completed, we need to see the dashboards. We need to see the matrices in the dashboard, and we need to measure everything. So and once we getting understand the every measures, every metrics, then we okay, what is the improvisation things we need to perform because matrices giving alerts to you. It's very simple. Why we need a matrices? Because once you measure something, okay, and if it is not up to the mark, whatever benchmark we have set up, if it's not up to the mark, then it's alerting us. Okay, then how I can figure out these things? How can improve the particular things? Then I have to add some actions on it, and with this action, I can improve the performance. So that's a simple thing we are working. Same here logic we have to add here in our RPA bots as well. Then only you can achieve the more and more accuracy and efficiency of the bot, and bot success ratio will get increases. Okay, so that's why we need a bot execution matrices and dashboards. And your business also getting they can also tracking. So whatever RPA benefits they are looking for, okay, and before starting the implementation, now same benefits they are getting or not with FTE or with saving a manpower or saving the transaction handling time. Okay, so lots of things are there. So those are things we need to measure, we need to calculate it. So with the matrices, we can calculate. Okay. So now let's see the bot execution matrix one by one. So here I have some samples. Okay. So I've captured here. So we will see one by one the each matrix. So first matrix is transaction execution status rate. So what it means, transaction execution status rate. So we know that in RPA, in a process level, we are executing the one transaction. So whatever cycle we are doing, whatever things we perform, we are treating as a transaction. But a simple rule that we know that in RE framework or in any RPA framework, every data, every cycle, whatever we are treating as a transaction. Now, what is this transaction, particular transaction uh, status? Either it is a fail, it is a pass or success, or it is not executed. So something it should be there, right? Without, it can't be empty without any status. Now, of this data, we need to measure. Okay, so let's say I have executed 200 transactions. For example, out of 200 transactions, how many transactions got success? How many transactions got failed? What are the ratios are there? So we need to measure the metrics. We can't go and check the logs, all these things. So that's why we have a formula here. So transaction status divided by total transaction to 100. With this, you will get these matrices. And so what are the transaction status are there? So whatever transactions might be success, fail, pending, not executed, pass. So different are. These are transaction status. So in this matrix, we have to calculate all the transaction status, okay, and divide by total of transaction, whatever we have, and have to calculate the percentage. So in this way, in this matrix, we can achieve the same thing. So let me show you with the example now here. So I have, this is the one more report. This is the bot execution report. Okay. So same like, so whenever we're doing execution, so whatever your transaction ID, order IDs, those are getting here, and the status fail, pass, whatever. So all these things are done by managed by your bots. Okay. Uh, Whatever transaction remarks fail, why it is fail, and why it is there any selector issue. So everything is being mentioned here, right? And again, if something is failed, then what is the exception types? So is the business exception, because every error we are marking with against the exceptions, or it's a genuine failure, or application exception. So everything we are measuring here. Okay. If you're not following this report, I would recommend it follow these reports. So when you're performing the bot, you can see this report, how you manage. So here you put transaction ID, transaction status, remarks against transaction, execution type. Then if you have the pool of the bots, and if you allocate one different bots, you can mention assign the transaction. So which bot is performing this particular transaction. So you can see here what is the transaction date, what is the transaction start time, what is the transaction end time, total transaction time required, and then for calculation we have converting in one time format. Okay, so in this way, so you can see the all this data, right? So whenever you want to check, I want to check, so my bot is running in production, I'm just getting these reports. Okay, and now in these reports, any senior manager, they don't have enough time to go and check everything, every information one after one by one. Okay, so that's why these are the dashboards are important. Okay, so here we can check all these things. So now our measure is, suppose for example, if I want to calculate transaction status, so how we can calculate it. So currently there is no such a metrics tool or any dashboard available for the RPA. So we can do with the Excels only. So let's say you have suppose these are transaction logs or reports. Either you're getting from Excel sheets or from the database. You're pulling in Excel sheets, and now you have to prepare the measures for the transaction status. Right. So how we can do it? Simple. Just select all, insert pivot table, click on OK. Okay, and then so we have to uh, add the formula here. So we have to take the total transaction ID as a values. So you can see we have taken the count basically. Okay, all the transaction ID and then transaction status. So what are the transaction status that we have to put in the row? Okay, and then you can blank, you can remove it in this way. So you can see very easily the total failed out of 36 transaction. There are total 64 transaction are failed, 27 transaction are passed. So and so this is are the a tabular information or even in table only. But if you want to see add on this top up some graph, so those also you can top up. So let's see how to prepare the any pie chart here. So select this particular two row and columns and go to insert, and here you will see the charts. So there's a one more facet of the Excel. It will recommend, if you don't know exactly which chart you can apply here, if you new in Excel or in the charts creations, if you don't know which chart can be suitable, so they will recommend few charts also for you. You can click on recommend charts. So either and you can see the preview. If you see the column, how we can see stack column or 3D graphs. So you can see a bar charts, a line charts, a pie charts. So let's say these are the pie charts. You can see dog nut. So let's say we have chosen this pie chart, 3D pie chart, okay? And this is so here you have to mention. So what is our transaction execution status rate, right? This measure we are calculating. So mention transaction execution status rate. So your whatever matrix name you are putting, it should be a proper and so people can understand. Okay, sometimes people, okay, we have prepared all the information. Your matrix name is not proper, so people can't understand exactly what you are trying to explain here. Okay, so here you can see I just top up this chart here, and you can see transaction status fail or success. And if you want to the count also, because so now you can hover your mouse, you can see the counts and percentage, but you want display here. Okay, so those we call as the data labels. So those are no the term you, if you don't know, then you have to, the term is the data labels. So here we have to add data labels. So how you can add it? Just click on any portions, right click on it, and then add a data labels. Just so you can add a data labels. Now here we are giving the count, but with the count you want to the percentage as well. How you can add it? Simple. Just right click on it, format data labels. You can add the percentage, or if you want to add some category name, you can add it. So now you can clearly understand. Okay, fail 64 count, success 272 count, 81 percentage. If you're calculating with the percentage, 81 percentage and 90 percentage. So we can very easily we can calculate it. And if you want to change some colors, right? How we can change it? So select this particular portion. For the field, I want to a different color. So you can select here, go to the field and change the color. So let's say fail. So we have to indicate with the rate. You can indicate with the rate. Sorry. And success with the green. So for success, I have select the green color from here, and fail, select the red color. So that's it. And then wherever you're preparing a dashboard, so let's say this is my dashboard sheet. Let me show you. I have already prepared some dashboard. So let's say this is my dashboard sheet. So we have to prepare one framework of kind of some dashboards. So I need to simple copy this and paste this report there. That's it. I have to perform. So just copy and paste over here. Simple. And adjust, do some adjust proper representations. And these are some legends also we have added: total orders, success orders, fail orders, total bots. So whenever the person can see the dashboard, they can easily see, okay, these are the information that are there. So the quick highlights point they can capture. So in this way, we can prepare this transaction status rate. So see how easily. So suppose we have the information in this format, okay, and you want to, if your customer asking, okay, send me the bot execution report, and you are just sending this Excel sheet to them, they need to, I mean, they need to go and check all what are the success fail ratio. They have to calculate it. It's too time consuming also. And whenever you're giving service to your customer, it's not good. Whatever you're reporting, it should be accurate. They don't need to uh, spend more time on that, because since you're working on these, it's your responsibility to prepare such a reports. Okay. So this is all about the transaction execution status rates. Same, let's see about the next bot exception rate. So always I am recommending, so most of the people, so they're only seeking success fail or success or fail. But why it is getting fail? Is this any genuine errors, or I mean there's some application error, exceptions error? So whenever you are, your bot is being getting failed, there are some reasons are there. Either the issue from the bot side, either the issue from the application sides, or issue from the business process sides. Because with three the combination, your RPA process is running. But maximum time, if your bot is properly running, you are doing the testing properly, your dry runs are properly, okay, in productions. So their chances of, if everything you're working properly with the frameworks, don't, you will not face any bot issues. So there will be issue from the application sides, application slowness, or applications, I can say selectors issues are there, or login credentials getting changed, or some order. So these are the things. If you're getting, these are the errors. So those you have to categorize under the application exceptions. And the errors, like as a business flow is getting changed, or if you're searching for a particular order. So here we are using the order example. We're searching some order in ERP application, and here we are not getting the proper order number, whichever we are getting from the business. But we are searching here, we are this order, we are not able to find out it here. So it's not our bot mistakes. It's the business process or their application side issues are there. So it's not a bot failure. So bot is being getting failure, but we need to explain the root cause of why these are the failure we have it. Either with the genuine bot error, either with the bot exception rate, I mean with the application exception or with business exceptions. So that we need to specify. If your bot is getting failure with the business exception and application exception, then it's not a fault of the RPA team. Either it's a fault of the, if application exception, the application is being maintained by the application team. They're not doing the proper maintenance, or then whatever maintenance they're doing, they're not aligned with the RPA team. The business people don't get providing the bot. It should be a proper, right? And we getting the exception rate with the business exception. It's a business, they need to see on that their levels. Okay, so that we need to, those picture we need to give the clear with the customers. Then customer can understand every time. Okay, bot getting failed, bot getting failed, but why it is failed, that we need to put it. So with this measure, bot exception rate measure, we can highlight to the customer. So formula is very simple. Exception type divided by total transaction, whatever you have it, into 100. And you can same thing I have shown you. So whatever your data are there. So let's see. Okay, let me show you here as well. So suppose for example, now you want to add the next matrix. So you can uncheck the transaction status, simply add the exception type. Exception type, and then so you can see in the exception type only for the failure. So you can filter with the transaction status. You can add the filter and transaction status. You can uncheck the success failed only. So you can show the for the fail, because for the failure only we have exception rates, right? So those one condition we have added here, and we can see these. And if you want to add some graph, you can easily go and you can add the pie chart. Very simple. Same I have shown you. And this way you will get the your results. So people can measure very properly, and you can add your dashboards. Okay. So in this way you can prepare your bot exception rate matrix as well. Let's see now very interesting matrix, bot utilization matrix. So these metrics also very important. So whenever your customer is paying for the licenses and they have 4 bots, 5 bots, 6 bots, 20 bots, whatever they have it, and your process is running day and night it's running, and we need to understand whatever transaction are being getting handled are running on the same with proper load balancing or not. That we need to understand. And for that, whatever bot is being getting utilized up are proper utilized or not, that we can see with this particular matrix. So let's see. So let's see about this matrix. So formula is average of transaction time. So whatever transaction time are there, we have to calculate the average and their total bots. So whatever total bots we have it, with that with the ratio we can calculate. So here you can see the total. The bots are there. Suppose let's say I'm seeing utilization of the bot 1 70%, bot 2 is being utilized 33%, bot 3 25%, bot 4 25%. So every bots are nearby being getting utilized properly. Okay, but here we can see a bot 2 having the I mean load with compared to the other bots, and but bot 1 doesn't have a good load, so it is being getting utilized 70%. Then we need to, as a RPA developer, we need to see why this bot is getting utilized by 70% only. That we need to go and check it. Either the issue with the infra sites, either the issue with whenever we are allocating the particular transaction to the bot level, Okay, so those are our framework sites are not working properly, or some majorly the infra issues will be there. Okay, so or whatever credentials. So the thing is also like that. Every four bot we have given a different credentials are there. So with a particular credential for this particular bot, it's not working. Something is there. But how we can check it unless and until if we are can calculate these matrices, and then we don't know, once we have these numbers, then we can go and check it. Okay, something is wrong happening in a bot one, let me go and check it, right, with the 70% of ratio. So then we'll go, we have to check in a bot one what is happening, and then we can correct the actions. Okay, so in this way we can perform the bot utilization rate as well. Okay, same next matrix we have success transaction time analysis. Same here also. So this also matrix very important. So what does this matrix means? Whatever transactions are being run, for example, if we have a cycle of 24 hours, just give an example, in that 24 hours, let's say my 300 transactions are being run. So what is the average time they have taken? Because what happened whenever your transaction is a success and it have a step 1 2 3 4 5 6, it's cover step till 6. And if your transaction are calling as a fail, either it is failing a step 1 or step 2 or step 3, something like that. Okay, so what happens, so we need to understand if my transaction is completed, so it's achieve all the steps, then only mark as a complete or success. Okay, then what is the average handling time it has been taken? Sometimes it is taking a, for example, 4 minutes, sometimes it taking 5 minutes, sometimes 7 minutes, sometimes 9 minutes. Okay, so you can see here, so it's taking now 2 minutes, or it's taking around now 3 minutes, again it's going down, again it's going up, again now it's taking a 10 minutes, again it's going down. Now here it's here particular time it has been taken 40 minutes. So why it is happening? My code is same, my data is same, steps are performing are same, infra is also same, but why my success, I mean transaction success time are getting increase and decrease? Why it's not constant? The reason is behind that your applications, because in RPA, whatever if you're doing the UI automations, so it's also we need to how your application being response, how your infra is being supported. So if you're using the, for example, if you're using the web-based applications, if you automate the web-based applications, in these web applications, obviously with the traffic load get increases, the response rate of the any web-based application we have to compromise. So here what is happened? So here, suppose we have this matrix, and what we can understand, okay, at this particular time we have got these are the the time required or more than at whatever benchmark we have it. So then in that time, what we can do, so we can communicate with the same team. So at that particular time, the application the load is getting increases. So how we can balance this load? If it is happening in a 1 and 2 time, that's fine. But it continuously happening the same time on daily basis, then we can ask the application team if it is possible. So we can see in application sites how we can manage this kind of the load issues or performance issues, right? Because RPA, if your application is interacting with properly, then only it can be achieved a good success rate. If application is being slowed, it's problem. Second thing also we can check in our code as well at a particular step, whatever delays we are given are running dynamically way or there's some hardcore delays. That also might be possibility, but still we can go. So either we have done the code review, we have done the what I can say UAT, we have done dry runs. So obviously there have chances to check the all these things are there properly or not. So major, if you're following this all the step for the code review, dry runs and everything, so in the earlier level you will get all these where you have a dynamic delay or hardcore delay. So if you're following the standard practice, then might be a delay problem checking the dynamic delay or hardcore delay, it will not be affected. But if you're not following the standard practice, then again you need to see in your code, and it's very bad. I'm saying that whenever uh, if you're running your bots, and again and whatever something happening in a bot and you need to go and check in your code, this particular things basically let's say dynamic delays or selectors handling properly or not. So it's, if you're doing the proper dry runs code review, it should be get review there only. It's not like be here only. So again I'm saying the point is, so this matrix is very important, success transaction time analysis. So with that help we will calculate the what is the average success transaction time. Same we can calculate the failed transaction time analysis. So whatever record has been getting failed, okay, what is the time are required. So with this second formula is simple, average of time transaction status of fail time divided by total transaction, what we have it. And with this, we can easily calculate this graph, this particular matrix. So here I can see if my transaction getting failed, it is not taking a more than 4 minutes. I think that it's fine. It is taking the next minute. So quickly, still, if it is getting failed due to application exception or business exception, but it is not taking a long, much time. So it's saving my bot utilization time also. So in this way, I can get to know about this matrix. Okay, so in this way, I have with this time frame, I have quickly covered all these matrices. So now, if you are preparing now, if you prepare this all these matrices, then you need to be prepare very well a dashboard also. All these matrices, you need to you need to be put it very good in dashboard level. So here you can see as a practice what we are following. So you have to provide executive summary. What is the highlights? So you have to mention the highlights here. What is about execution, this report for this particular date with this kind of the orders or transaction volumes, how many are getting success, how many getting failed with the business exception, with application exception, is there any majors things which we need to be highlighted. So everything you can see, most of success are order waiting in between 5 to 6 minutes, which is not acceptable. So whatever your analysis are there with these matrices you are getting, those you need to properly highlight in a dashboards, so that the highlights area. Then you can mention the for which processes. There are so many processes are there. If you're running an organization, you have to properly mention for these particular processes we have these dashboards. Then what is the total these are the region you need to you need to give it here. Then one by one your matrix you need to add it here. Okay, so so whenever the people can see with the first glance, oh, they can understand, okay, total there are 36 orders are there. So we have a good success ratio, 81 success ratio, failure 19 ratio. So okay, then we can say bot utilization time, order time, bot exception rate. So very easily with just 2-3 minutes they can understand your entire bot health checkup. So this is basically how your bot is running. What is the output? Okay, easily they can crack it. So we can, okay, success ratio 81%. Wow, whatever implementation we are doing is going very properly. Then whatever we are doing support thing, bot support also doing very properly. So easily a business people, a senior manager can understand the things. Whatever we are effort we are putting, are we going to the right track or not? So with this dashboard, with this analysis, they can very easily understand the things and then very easily can take a quick decisions also. If something is going very badly, then okay, what other reasons are there, figure out the reasons and take the actions and correct it. If something is going very well, very good, no problem, then how can more we can optimize more and more to get achieve the more ratios percentage of this success in improvisation. In that level we can think. So that's why you can see either with the to come up from the failure to the success level or to increase your success to more in success level, all these things together we need a proper matrices, and these matrices we need to calculate properly with your transaction output, and that we need to demonstrate very properly with this particular dashboards. So if your organization if you don't have the any kind of the dashboard software, no worry. With the Excel also you can prepare very well dashboards. So with this help of the Excel sheet, you can put all the dumps, all the transaction, put it in Excel. You can apply these other matrices. You can start at least exploring or preparing this kind of dashboards. So your business will definitely helps for all these things. Okay, guys, so that's about the today's topics. So we are ready for question answer session. So if you have any doubts or anything, we can discuss now. Yeah,
Hello Amit, I have one question.
yeah, Jabbar.
Generally in RPA life cycle, who is going to decide all these metrics and who is accountable and responsible? If we go to as per classical RPA life cycle,
So you're asking the roles and responsibility of preparing the matrix and dashboard. Who is
who is
responsible?
responsible? Means
Yeah.
we understood how we what all are the matrices and all those things, but If it is not an individual contributor, and if there is a proper structure like business analyst and solution architect and project manager, then who generally takes this up, all this,
Got it, got it.
everything?
So I got your point. So generally happen ideally if you're setting the entire RP COE, then who is the implementation managers or business analyst is their responsibility to prepare these kind of KPIs and matrices. Okay, it's their responsibility ideally. But sometimes what happen in the I can see they just have the RP developers, right? But the RP developers they might, so first of all it's not their role to calculate this matrix. Okay, they can send the execution reports, but to with this matrix and prepare dashboard might be they don't have this kind of the knowledge also. Okay, so ideally it should not be their responsibility, but if we are trying to leverage our skill sets with that manners, or if we are or any project manager they are giving some KPIs and this KPI is working that way, and they in this way we can calculate this particular matrices, and you have to daily basis you have to send it in this way, then RP developer can take this up. And it's all about how we can how what are the value addition we can provide to ourselves. Doesn't matter whatever roles we are playing in the organization. It's all up to the, if you're taking another way, what are the value addition which you're providing to our customer, whatever value addition you provide to our company. In this way if you take it up, so anyone can be take this up. But if you're going to ideally process, it's a part, yeah. So I'm the RPA BA, or I can see the implementation manager, they have to be track all these things. Okay. Any questions?
One more question. Generally, it's not kind of reporting, but it is similar to that. How do we calculate ROIs in RPA project? Because is it one of the metrics or not? And if it is yes, then how to calculate that?
So calculate the ROI. These are the metrics are not sufficient. There's so many, because what is ROI? Return of investment. So whatever investment we are doing, okay, and what are the benefits we are getting, then we can calculate the ROI. But now if you're looking the investment, so what investments are there? So before, let's say order processing, this is the process. Are before the RPA, these processes are working. How many manpower that they're working on this? Let's say four manpower. So what is their entire amount of which the organization is spending on this particular four manpower? Let's say XYZ. Now with the RPA, what is, so to implement with the RPA these processes, what is the implementation cost? What is the licenses cost? What is the maintenance cost? So those we need to calculate it. And after that, whatever output we're getting with the RPA, obviously the output we're getting RPA compared with the manual, it's highly, because it's taking a less time consuming, and it's very efficient. It's working day by day. Okay, so that's why. So these are the rates whatever we are getting, the I mean benefits. I mean mostly the average handling time. If you're achieving more, so let's say the manual people they can, with the four they can only uh, handling the 200 transaction. Just give an example. But the bot can, let's say two bots are there and they can handle the 800 transactions per day. So obviously my transaction workloads getting managed more than the by the bot more than the manual works, manual peoples, right? So with this all the parameter, we need to calculate the ROI. So let me come very simple way. What I've explained now, whatever the implementation cost we are putting, whatever license cost you are putting, whatever the maintenance cost you are putting overall, and whatever benefits you are getting after that, because you are four peoples, they not work on this process more and more. They can work in another area. So you can utilize, save their time, and they can properly work on different area. So whatever cost you are paying for this particular process, it will get reduced directly. And obviously the cost with the manual, the cost with the RPA, once it get reduced, so obviously RPA cost it will be less. For in a one year, it might be higher, but after that year and year, it will be a less. Only licensing cost it will be occurred. right? So then you can achieve the good ROI. So in RPA, ROI in the immediate basis, you can't achieve the good ROI. Once you stabilize properly, once your everything is running with the proper RPA only, then after a year, you can achieve this ROI with calculating all these parameters which I mentioned. Got it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay, fine then. So any other question from any other ones? So are we clear with these topics? Or we can prepare why it's importance? I hope.
Yes, Amit, clear, clear. And same question also my, but already Jabbar asked.
Okay. Okay. Great, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much for attending session. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you, Amit.
We can